Welcome back to BarnBuilt Fabrications. In today's video, we're going to be getting our Viking front coilovers installed, as well as our UMI upper control arms on our 1970 Monte Carlo. And while we're at it, we're going to be keeping the lower control arms for now, the factory ones, and just putting new ball joints in it. In the future, I do plan on doing tubular, but we're going to roll with what we got until the piggy bank's got a few more coins in it, and then we'll do that in the future. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Obviously, this is the completed side. I just want to kind of jump in here and point a few things out beforehand. So these are the tubular up control arms that we are going to be installing. Very important, if you are going to be running or wanting to run a factory ride height, you want these tubular upper control arms, you need to get the 4033s, which is what these are. These are the taller ball joints, so it's 4033-1-B for black. If you want red, it's R. Problem I initially ran into, and half the reason why I have this side already complete, is because I started doing all this with the 4056s, which are these guys over here, and they will not work. These unless you're lowered. These will only work in a lowered application. They don't have that arc to them. They're what they call a flat control arm. It does not specify anywhere online. I ordered these from Jegs, and even on Summits, I checked all of them. It says direct fit, didn't mention anything, but you can only fit these on lowered cars, and like significantly lowered cars, as I found out, which is not what I'm trying to go for. So these are adjustable. You got Heim joints on the back side of them, and you can adjust it. They give you a little bit more camber, or caster rather. Still the taller ball joints on them, but yeah, that turned into an issue. So if you got a lowered car, or you plan on having a lowered car, the 4056s will work just fine for you. If you want to keep more of a factory ride height, which is what I'm planning on doing, then you want to go with the 4033s. I know it's a mouthful, but it will save you a lot in the long run, because it will be a big problem if you get to the point where I did and it needs to be put back together and you can't. So these aren't adjustable, but they've got nice Delrin bushings. They don't squeak and they are really strong, so that is good. Gives you a little bit less adjustability to your caster, but it still does have, I believe, added caster into it. Along with the tall upper ball joint, gives you more travel, more caster, so it gives you a little bit better handling characteristics by messing with the geometry. But yeah, just not to continue to harp on it too much, I want to jump into this. But the other control arms, upper control arms, the flat ones, I was able to get them to bolt in for mock-up, but I literally had to get these coilovers, the rings all the way down, basically sitting on the knobs, and force it to get in. And then I got it started and tightened down, and all the way compressed. They still were sitting with all the weight of the vehicle basically on the droop stop, which is this guy here. So hopefully that helps you, and you're looking at this beforehand if you're doing the same thing. I have the tie rod undone. That's not an oversight thing. I left it undone intentionally because in a future episode we are going to be replacing all the steering stuff and doing a close ratio gearbox. So if you are interested in that, be on the lookout for that video. I'm sure it will probably be the next one after this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this factory side, get it all stripped out, removed, and get these new parts in. Once you have all that taken apart, For your driver's side, you need to pull your steering shaft out of the way, so that way you can get to these bolts on the back and undo the nuts and be able to slide it forward. Otherwise, you have your shaft in the way and it won't allow you to do that. So it's just 2 bolts. You get those undone, and then you probably have to force it up a little bit to get it to compress, and then just swing it out of the way, and then undo these top 2 nuts here. And your upper control arms can come out at that point. All right, so whenever you get your new coilover opened up, the fronts are disassembled. The rears were put together whenever you're straight out of the box. So anyways, it's really simple, the process of what you want to do. So first things first is you want to get your rings here. This one that's flat is going to be your lock ring. It's going to go on first. You have a smooth side and then one with a lip. Put the lip facing upwards. We'll get this brought all the way down to the bottom. The lower you have it down, the easier it's going to be to install this in the car. And then we'll take this bearing here and we'll set that down here in between. And then we'll take this one and we'll set it with this raised hat facing upwards. And I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize in between that washer and the other lock ring. Get this sandwiched down. And then you're going to get another one of these, set it down, put more anti-seize. Then you have one with a roller bearing, set that down on top of it, more anti-seize. And then repeat the same process again for this one. And you want to make sure that you put a bunch of anti-seize on these threads. It's important so that it does not, well, seize up, and then also gives you some lubricity whenever you are bringing this up the lock rings. So you don't have to glob it on, but for me, I just put it on the one side because as you spin the threads, it's going to pull it around for you. Put it up probably about 75% of this. It's fair, depending on whatever you want the ride height to be, is going to determine how far up these lock rings actually go. And once you have that done, what I'm going to do is grab this and pull it apart. Then we'll grab our spring. And then you want the small end down. So the large end is going up and towards the spring pocket on the car itself. And then after that, real simple, you just do your bushings like you would a normal shock for the top. have them go all over the shop just to make it convenient for you. And then on the bottom side, you're going to take out these bolts. The factory shocks bolted up, these are going to get dropped down from the top down. And then you can go over and set this in the lower control arm. Once you have this installed and your top and bottom bolts and nut tightened down, your lower control arm is going to be held in place. Now we can set our knuckle with our rotor and hub back on top of this and get it tightened down. And then we can work forward to get the upper control arm and get our ride height set. How to use a spreader bar, but I got it. That was pretty tight. I'll be the first to admit it. All right, we got all this tightened down. Got our cotter pins and what have you in. Pretty much the last thing for this install is going to be to set our spring height. Now, I obviously don't have the engine in or the front clip on it, so I don't know what the actual ride height's going to be. I don't have a measurement of where it should go. So what I'm doing is I'm just setting it pretty high and planning on basically knowing that whenever I get the full weight on the car, for both the front and the back, I'm going to have to come back and adjust the height to how I want it to be and tweak it. So for now, I'm just going to try to get it close enough and then roll from there. I think that I was 2 7/8 of an inch from the bottom thread up to I believe it was the top of the lock nut on the other side. So I'm going to try to match that, and that way it's close enough for government work for me for now anyways. And then yeah, so you get this wrench that comes in a kit, and then it hooks in kind of, maybe, yep, maybe, and you tighten it. So it's a long, tedious process, just especially when you get started, because you don't have any room with your hand here. Whenever you get up above a little bit, you get going a little bit faster. So all that to say, I'm going to do this off camera, just get it set up, and then whenever it's up, I'll get back with you. Got the brake caliper put back on, and then we got that set to the height that I'm going to leave it for now. And then we did the compression and rebound as well. So you set that with those two knobs there. One has a C, which is compression. The other one has an R, which is rebound. And you get a sheet like that will give you recommendations depending on what kind of driving you're doing for how many clicks you should do on each one. So I did 10 to 14 for the front to go in between, basically an aggressive handling. So it's gonna hopefully ride nice on the street, but also have good response to it. If it's too stiff, I'll loosen it. That's the benefit of, one of the benefits of having coilover, a double adjustable coilover suspension, is you could dial it to however you want, and you could change it at a moment's notice if you're going to be changing the style of driving that you're going to be doing. So anyways, yeah, we're pretty much done on this. I'm going to leave the tie rods undone, as well as the steering shaft, just because, like I was saying earlier, in probably the next video, we're going to be coming in and replacing all the front end stuff, pretty much just maintenance parts, but then we're also going to be doing a Borgeson close ratio gearbox as well. So we'll be replacing that, and in doing so, we're going to need this disconnected, and we're going to be replacing the adapter on the box. So anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much what we're looking like. Looking good. Looking good. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, so you can stay up to date on this project as well as the other ones that we got going. Plenty of stuff to come. And as always, get outside, get wrenched on something, piss off your neighbors, disappoint your mom. Until next time, keep on keeping on.
You can see the riding on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it.
yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah.